Hey everyone, and welcome to the first lecture. Technically this is lecture 0 because all I'm going to do is go through the course overview and also give a brief introduction to biophysics and why it's important. Okay, so in this lecture what we're going to cover is basically a course overview, brief information about the teaching team, how to contact us, all that stuff. Afterwards, a brief overview of which topics we're going to cover in this course, just the main headings, and most importantly, the grade distributions and assessment details. I'll also be presenting a weekly schedule, just so that you know what to do each week. Apart from that, we can basically jump right into biophysics with an introduction to what it is and its long-standing history as an interdisciplinary subject. So the way these lectures will be structured, at the bottom I actually have a timeline of where we are throughout the lecture. So usually I'll start off with a recap of the previous lecture's material, something very, very short with some take-home messages. Then I'll go through an introduction to the subject. In this case, it's just course details. Afterwards, I'll have main content and then go through either some practice problems or present some examples and applications that you can try yourself, and those will be taken up during the live lectures. At the very end, I'll have a summary so that you can kind of go through what are the most important points. Okay, so brief information about Physics 280 and Biology 280. They're the same course, they're cross-listed. In this term, there's going to be two types of lectures. There's core lectures that are delivered through pre-recorded videos just like this one. I'm going to post the slides on Learn as well as the videos on Learn. I'll also have a YouTube channel, so you can pick and choose where you want to view the video. I usually find that YouTube's a lot easier to work with, just because you can scrub through the video with different time points. I'll also be holding live lectures every week on Thursday, and those will be recorded just in case you can't make them. But the goal is for me to present examples and applications in these pre-recorded lectures, and then you can have a few days to work on them at home. And then on Thursday, we'll take up those practice problems together and answer any questions you have. So that gives us a chance to connect once a week, or sometimes even more. Just so you can ask questions. Maybe we can even talk about more advanced material if you're interested in learning about more. So in terms of instructor and TA details, there's me. I'm Brenda, and you can email me at brenda.lee@uwaterloo.ca. My office, don't really have a physical office, so I'm going to try and use Microsoft Teams, Discord, and email as much as possible. I'll touch on Discord in a bit. Office hours, I will try to schedule regular office hours once a week through Microsoft Teams outside of the regular live lecture schedule, or you can always reach me by appointment or just type something up on Discord and tag me and I'll be there. We have a teaching assistant, Nancy May. So her email is nmay@uwaterloo.ca. Once again, no office hours, it's just we have Microsoft Teams, Discord, or email. So now onto the different learning or online platforms for this course. We've tried to make this as accessible to everybody as possible. We've tried group discussion. So of course, Learn is a mandatory platform. Everybody needs it. All of the official communication and course material will just be dumped onto Learn. So please make sure you check the announcements on Learn on a regular basis, as well as all of the weekly folders that I've set up. So in terms of Learn, the way I've set up the material is week by week. So let's say you have week 1. You'll go into the week 1 folder, you'll see a checklist of what to do every single week, and just go through that checklist. Basically, you'll be watching the video, pre-recorded video like this one, you'll be doing your practice problems, and then attending the live lecture, or watching the recorded live lecture, and then there is one assignment per week. That's due on Fridays. So all of that will be administered through Learn. For the live lectures, I can't do that through Learn. So what I found was the most convenient for students and for myself was to use WebEx. The reason for this is because with WebEx, you can just use the same link for all of the live lectures. You download the WebEx link, WebEx app, click on the link at the scheduled time. We do the live lecture, it's recorded, and then WebEx does a great job at rendering the videos at a pretty decent speed. And I usually post them about 1 to 2 hours after the live lecture has ended. So it's fairly fast, just in case you miss it. The next part is basically office hours. We have the lecture material on Learn and we have the live lectures, but there's not really much of a chance for everybody to message each other or to chat with each other like you do in a classroom. So we've created 2 different platforms for you to use. There's Microsoft Teams, which is technically the official University of Waterloo messaging platform. So you can use the link on Learn or the link in the PowerPoint to invite yourself to the Microsoft Teams group. So I'll be setting up regular office hours there and also chatting with the students and discussing different topics that or questions that you might have. The other thing is Microsoft Teams may not be as convenient for some in terms of chatting with each other and promoting social interaction. So we've started a Discord channel as well, or a Discord server. So I'll also be on there because I have Discord for my other classes. So please use it for office hours, for discussions, and we also have a confidential ticketing system so that if you have any issues with your grades or anything and you don't want to send an email, you can just submit a ticket and we'll go through them one by one. So the invite link is embedded in the PowerPoint, or you can also go to Learn and the course outline to click on the invite link to Discord. So hope to see you on both Microsoft Teams and Discord. You'll find that for the assignments this term, I've made it so that it's possible for you to work on assignments individually if you prefer, or you can also work on assignments in groups if you like as well. As long as each submission is unique and not plagiarized, then I will accept it. So course topics and schedule. We've broken down this course into 3 main sections. There's systemic biophysics that have to do with organs. So like biomechanics that has to do with your bodily motion. You have fluid flow for blood, gas transport for gas exchange and all that stuff. You have audition or hearing, and you have vision or eyesight. So those are the main topics that we'll be going through for systemic biophysics. Next, you have cellular and molecular biophysics. So there's actually an entire course dedicated to this, which is Physics 380. Cellular and molecular biophysics has to do with modeling modeling the 4 big macromolecules. So proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. So in this course, however, we're going to give you the basics and allow you to move forward so that you can do more complex things in later courses. So we'll be introducing proteins, nucleic acids and DNA, lipids and biomembranes. We'll go through some thermodynamics and bioenergetics, and then we're going to summarize all of that through an in-depth discussion of neurobiophysics. Afterwards, the latter third of the entire course is dedicated to an overview of all of the different types of medical, nanotechnology, and biotechnology tools that can be used in biology and medicine. So that would include MRIs, that would include AFM, atomic force microscopy, circular dichroism, EKGs, and all that stuff. So it gives you a broad overview. There are upper year courses that will go into more depth into each of these topics. So the grading scheme, it's 30% assignments, 40% quizzes, and 30% project. So with the assignments and quizzes, just keep in mind, I will only give you 1 assessment per week. What this means is that there are a total of essentially 12 weeks, and there are 12 assignments/quizzes. You will either have an assignment for a week or a quiz, but never both. So usually what I've done is stagger the quizzes throughout the term. So there's 4 quizzes, and they're tri-weekly. The first assignment is actually due in the first week, and it's fairly simple. It actually asks you to create a schedule for yourself because of the remote learning environment. There's going to be 2 assignments in the quiz, 2 assignments in the quiz, and repeat that 4 times throughout the term. There's also a term project, and if you remember from before, the latter third of the course has to do with a list of methods that we commonly use in biophysics. So what we would want you to do is to pick one of these methods and do a much more detailed analysis of that topic by introducing its applications, going through the physical theory and concepts behind that method, and then presenting how it would be used in a real life application. So that's either a group or individual essay, your choice. You have both Microsoft Teams and Discord to try and connect with other people, see if you work well with others. And if you do, then by all means, you can have groups of up to 3 individuals. Now for the bonus, I actually included a 5% bonus. It can be done individually or as a group. Keep in mind the 5% is not easy to get. What I'm expecting is for everybody to actually come up with a biological problem and use physics to solve it. So you can do that in many different ways, but it has to have a certain level of complexity in order to get the full 5%. Okay, so for weekly assignments, just a little bit more detail for each. Like I said, there's 8 assignments worth 30% of your final grade. The lowest grade is not going to be dropped, so just keep in mind every single assignment counts, and please do not miss one. We're going to be using the Learn Dropbox for you to submit your assignments, and the late penalty is going to be 15% deduction per day, up to 30% on Sunday, midnight. So they're all due on Friday. That means if you don't finish Friday, you have up to Sunday midnight to submit it, but at that point you lose 30%. If you submit it on Monday, then it's a 0. So unless you have a verification of illness form or anything, unfortunately I can't do anything about this. So it's important that you read and watch the lectures before you do the assignments, just so that you understand the concepts that go into it. What I recommend is watch the videos, do the practice problems yourself, and then attend the live lectures to get the answers. The solutions to the assignments will also be posted after their due dates, so that would be Monday. Afterwards, we have quizzes. So there's a total of 4 quizzes, each one's worth 10%, so a total of 40% of your final grade. Once again, lowest grade will not be dropped, so everything counts. We're going to be using Learn's quizzing platform to do the quizzes, so there's going to be a combination of conceptual multiple choice questions, as well as potentially 1 or 2 small math-based questions where you actually have to write out the solution, take a picture, and upload it to Learn. The solutions to the quizzes are going to be covered in the live lectures the week after, and the solutions will also be posted. So last, I want to talk about the term project, which is a methods essay. So it's worth 30% of your final grade, which is quite significant. So I would try and get started on this as early as possible throughout the term. Like I said, I've tried to keep this term as simple as possible so that you can schedule your time wisely. So please do get a head start on the project as soon as possible. So your goal is to write a condensed essay on a biophysical method of your choice. You can work individually, or you can also work in groups of up to 3 individuals. Use Microsoft Teams and Discord, try to connect with each other. I personally think that there aren't enough courses in undergrad that expose you to scientific writing, so this is a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about scientific writing and have both myself and Nancy help you out along the way. Your condensed essay is just going to be 5 to 7 pages, single-spaced, not counting images or references. So it does include mathematical formulations if you include derivations and stuff, but just make sure it's between 5 to 7 pages without images or references. So there are also some important milestones that we have to consider, just so that everybody stays on track. And all of these milestones will be graded. So there's going to be a topic or group selection deadline that is February 12th, 2021. So you have 1 month to basically connect with others, see if you want to work in groups or as an individual, and select your topic. So in terms of topics, I'll be posting a list of topics that you can choose from, or you can also suggest your own, but every group or individual must choose a unique topic. So if that topic has been taken already, you'll have to choose another one, just to prevent any plagiarism between different groups and submissions. Next, you have another month after that to work on an outline and a table of contents. So what I'm expecting here is for you to basically do a little bit of research, get some references and get some reading done on your method of choice. Basically write out a table of contents and an outline of what you want to say in your essay, and then submit that by March 12th, 2021. And that is going to be marked. The final submission then is April 9th, so that's another month, almost another month. It's actually not the last day of classes, which is April 14th. I want you to submit it a little bit earlier so we have time to mark it and I can get your grades in as soon as possible. But the final submission is April 9th, 2021, no exceptions, because you have the entire term to work on it. So please do keep that in mind. And finally, bonus. There is an available bonus worth 5% on top of the final grade that you get. All of the details are on the slide, and there's even more detailed overviews and descriptions of what's required on Learn. So there's going to be a section under a folder in Learn called the bonus project. So just take a look there and make sure you follow all the steps in order to have the best chance of getting a higher grade. And the deadline for the bonus is on the last day of classes at midnight. So that's April 14th, 2021. If you want to, you can actually submit it anytime throughout the term. Now for course materials, there are several different types of materials that you have to be aware of. Of course, there's lecture notes and videos. Keep in mind that the lecture notes include figures that might be taken from external resources, so like textbooks, copyrighted material, and I've used it under the fair dealing exception in the Copyright Act because I'm teaching this course, but please do not reproduce anything because it is all copyrighted, including these videos. So do not republish or hand out to other students under any circumstances, or else you might get in trouble. In terms of the lecture notes, I also wanted to mention that Professor Zoya Leonenko has developed most of this course. I've updated some of the slides and also am recording the videos, but all the content has been developed by Professor Leonenko, so I have to give her credit for that as well. In terms of textbooks, you don't actually need any textbooks. I'll be sourcing all the information for you from Professor Leonenko's notes, my own personal experiences, and other articles that I've been reading. So I'll be posting additional reading sources in case you're interested in going through advanced material. So there's actually two different textbooks that I would recommend if you are to get a textbook for the course. There's Elementary Biophysics by PHYS, and that textbook is, I personally think that it's quite suitable for this course. We actually go through most of the subjects that are presented there, except for the last part. In the last part of the book, they only focus on MRIs, but we actually focus on all sorts of different methods. And that's where we're pulling resources from many different textbooks and many different articles. The other one is Physics for the Biological Sciences. This one is much better for the life scientist. So it's a lot more reader-friendly for someone coming from a biology background, whereas the first one might be a little bit more easier for someone from physics. So you can take your pick. You don't have to buy these textbooks, but if you are in biophysics and you want to pursue biophysics in the future, it might be good to have one of these handy. Now I have to go through administrative stuff. If you miss a test or an assignment, you have to submit a VIF in order for me to do anything about it. Protects you, protects me, and then we will be able to make accommodations for you. If you have something extremely urgent or an emergency, please do message myself or your TA, Nancy, before the actual deadline or before the event happens. It's always better to let us know ahead of time than to let us know afterwards. Academic integrity, of course, please do not plagiarize. With online and remote teaching, there is a lot of cheating going on. So anybody who's caught doing that, I'm obligated to report it. I've tried to reduce the amount of cheating that could go on in this course, so hopefully we will have none of that this term. In terms of viewing assignments and exams, we don't have exams for this course, but we'll try and hand back the assignments within 1 to 2 weeks or even sooner, just so that you can know how you're progressing throughout the term and how well you're performing.